Welcome to a new podcast in the Feminist for Real interview series, a new and brave project initiated by Tudor Communications, a project dedicated to support leadership and female leadership and female entrepreneurship around the world. Please allow me to introduce my guest for this new interview, Anca Dragu. Welcome.
Thank you for the invitation and congratulations for your project. It's absolutely wonderful.
It's wonderful because of women like you, because you are our inspiration, and thank you for inviting for our interview. Please allow me to introduce my guest. She's a senator of Romania, former president of the Romanian Senate from December 21, 2020 to November 23, 2021. Anca Dragu is an economist by profession. She graduated the Faculty of Finance, Insurance, Banking and Stock Exchanges at the Academy of Economic Studies in Bucharest in 1996. Then she began her career as an employee at the National Bank of Romania from 1996 to until 2001, and she is specialized in international economics at George Washington University in a postgraduate program on economic policy and international affairs, then a master's degree in public policy and European integration from CNSPA. She's also a philosophy doctor in economics at the Academy of Economic Studies in Bucharest with a doctoral thesis on mechanism for ensuring financial stability at the international level. In parallel with this process of long life learning, after the position at the National Bank of Romania, she worked for International Monetary Fund, and between 2013 and 2015 she worked as an economic analyst at the European Commission, a comfortable and well-paid position she will give up to accept the position of Minister of Public Finance in the Dacian Cioloș government. She was Romanian Minister of Public Finance, the second woman in Romania in this very high position after Ioana Petrescu. And during this period, from November 2015 to January 2017, the Romanian economy experienced a period of growth, and the Romanian leu went through a period of deflation. During her tenure, there were implemented several fiscal relaxation measures, simplification of the tax code, increased transparency of public finances, and digitalization of the taxes payment system. In the 2020 parliamentary elections, she won a position in the Bucharest constituency from the USR Plus Alliance, and she was elected as a senator of Romania on December 21, 2020, and president of the Romanian Senate, being the first woman in Romania in this high position. She held this position from December 2020 to November 2021. She is also a mother of a 12-year-old boy, and she admits that she returned to Romania with a strong desire to contribute to Romanians' healthy reconstruction, we hope. Welcome again, Anca Dragu. You've said to someone that you can't fail in your career if you follow the right and the correct steps. You are an example of meritocracy, which is increasingly rare in Romania. And I would like to ask you, how do you always manage to keep the right way?
Well, I think first of all, it's about work, but it's about the way I like to work. And I like to do the right thing. I like to be happy and proud of what I'm doing. And I always recall what my grandmother was saying, my parents were telling me, that I have to be always proud of what I'm doing, because everybody can see what I'm doing. Everybody sees the results of my work. So this is my belief. Many times I'm asked about sacrifices I did in my life, and it's not about sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice, just to quote Elton John. No, it's about enjoying what I'm doing and enjoying simply being in the middle of things. Once you have this belief and the hard work, every day, I try even today to learn everything every day. I'm happy when I hear something new, when I discuss with somebody who brings to my attention something that I haven't known till that moment. I'm very happy when right now when I have time to contribute, to write, to think of things. I'm very happy when I teach during these days, and when I have some time to go back to university and to talk to students and to teach. This is something I really enjoy. But otherwise, I think it's about being serious in what you're doing every day. And it's about small accumulation every day. And at the end of the day, and the end of a lifetime, I think it means quality and meritocracy. And what makes me a little bit different than other politicians, it's the fact that I do have a career. And at some point I said, actually, it was not my decision. It was just the invitation from Mr. Cholos to join his cabinet as finance minister. And then my husband was extremely supportive and said, okay, because we were in Belgium living there. And he said, okay, we go back. We find a way, we'll manage somehow. And then I noticed as a member of a cabinet that indeed I can do many things, but I need this political support. We need to get into the democratic game. Democracy means representation, that, you have the politicians who are the representatives of people. So somehow after this term as finance minister, I realized that yes, I can change things. And with the first occasion on 2020, I went for elections. In the meantime, from 2017 and to 2020, I went back to commission, and also I was in the private sector in energy field. So my belief is that being serious on your job, whatever your job is, it's the ticket for success.
We've talked about meritocracy. We've talked about being serious. What kind of not sacrifice? What kind of risk are involving this kind of attitude? Because it's an attitude that doesn't admit compromise.
The only risk is to have success, to be successful. That's the risk. Of course, as I'm an economist, we can talk about opportunity costs. Every hour we can spend in many ways. I can spend this hour now. My first priority would be to spend this hour with my son. But he's in school, so I'm safe. Then I also have a priority to spend some time with my mother, who is over 90. But I'm lucky that today, coming to you, I had 30 minutes to stop at her house. We had a coffee, we had a chat. So then I'm okay with my personal and emotional implication. Other opportunity costs. So it means that I really need to do stuff meaningful, to do things that change things into better. Otherwise, I can do something else with my time. So if you're talking and if you're thinking in terms of the cost of each moment, then you take the right decision, and you know that you do everything possible to get the maximum out of what you're doing. That's why I don't get easily a no. When I do and I want to do something, I don't like the idea. It is not possible. Everything is possible. And just as a joke, I tell in general to my people I work with, you don't have enough problems, how many solutions I have.
Yes, and the word itself, impossible, contains the word possible. So in each problem, we find the solution.
I noticed in the public sector, many people, whatever you say, your counterpart says it's not possible. And I said, okay, it's forbidden to have this sentence. It's not possible. I also noticed, even in the private sector, I noticed people many times say, oh, we tried, it didn't work. So then I came back and said, okay, let's try differently and let's see why it didn't work. Let's find a solution for fixing what it didn't work. So I think it's about
changing
the way
the perspective,
of thinking. Yeah. And it's not overnight. And I honestly don't know about myself when I changed this perspective. But I ended up like this, and that's the recipe of having success.
It's a matter of age, it's a matter of experience, it's a matter of international experience.
I think international experience helped me a lot. And now I tell everybody around me and my son, and so we don't have this, it's not possible, and we don't give up. And I can tell you a very short and funny story with my son, that he had an extracurricular activity he didn't like, and he was trying to convince me, to persuade me to give up on this activity. And finally I told him, look, the spirit of our family is that we don't give up. And later on, like a month after this conversation, this activity was suspended by school. And he told me, Mom, my professor did not grow up in a family who taught him that it's forbidden to give up. So but I think this was a good lesson for my son, that you have to continue, and giving up is not an option.
I would like to invite you to talk a little bit about the value of female leadership you've experienced around the world. Which are the Romanian inspiration, and which was inspired by international experience?
Of course, international experience also in this area helped me a lot. But I also noticed that, when I was in school, we were boys and girls, and it was everything the same. In high school, during university. But then when I grew up and I had higher and more important positions, I noticed that there are less and less, fewer women around me. So this is, I think I was around 30 years of age when I noticed that there's something wrong. Where are all my friends, my female friends? Where are they? Oh, they remained in another position much lower. So this is how I noticed that something is wrong in this world, because I was not a feminist. I did not understand this concept, and I thought that the fact that I made progress, and it's okay. Then I somehow read some papers by my dear friend Mihaela Miroiu. And I said, okay, she's right. It is something wrong. Yeah. And okay, later
she's
on,
the point of reference in everything means Romanian feminism.
And later on, I met her. And when I heard Mihaela Miroiu saying nice things about me, I said, oh my God, what did I do good and well in this world? So I deserve the friendship and appreciation of Mihaela. So I realized that things are not okay. And I noticed in the IMF, in the European Commission, that it's not only myself, but many other people notice that it's not okay to have only 20% economists female in the IMF, to have only 20% managers in the European Commission, females. And they introduced quotas. Quota, it's an administrative measure to correct something that is not normal. And although I dislike in general administrative measures, yes, I do support such measures when it's about a market failure. And this is it's the real definition of a market failure. When you see that we are 50-50, even 51. Okay, it depends how you take the age. And so when you are 50-50 in the society, but then when you're talking about decision-making process, and you see that there are only 10% or 20% women, it means that for sure it's something wrong. And why it's wrong and which are the implications? I mean, why it's so wrong? It's very simple, because female-related topics and all things and situations and problems related to the universe of a woman are not there in discussions and are not taken into consideration and are not part of public policies. So this is why we see so little attention to topics related to children, to health, to maternity, curing and taking
for
care
others, yes,
for older people, because these are in general things that we are dealing with, yes, and then they remain with us. We don't have a voice to put them on the agenda for public policy. Domestic violence, it's a drama. It's a tragedy. Yesterday we had a big discussion at the Senate. I organized a debate, and we also talked about implications of domestic violence for children, because that's really a big problem. We don't talk about these things. So I think that's... so I noticed that it's something wrong that women disappeared.
1 of 3 women in Romania are a victim of domestic violence, which is huge.
Yeah, and as my guest concluded yesterday, that it's one feels much more comfortable as aggressor than as a victim. As a victim, you're always afraid to recognize. You're afraid to talk about it. I mean, this is something
ashamed.
Something upside down, and
you feel ashamed and guilty because Romanian society has this type of represent the victim. Yes, it's something wrong with that victim. She was doing something wrong. Yeah, to come to aggressor. Yeah.
So feminism is about normality. Actually, it's not that females are better than males. No, we are the same.
And being very attentive to everything that's happened in your community, as you said before. And I would like to talk a little bit about women's solidarity, because we know women are very solidar in their family, in private space, but in the public space, some things change. Why?
I think we are at the beginning. And I am sure that things will be better in time. I read studies indeed showing that women are more likely to interrupt when discussing other women, but not a man. And of course, women see easier to get into a competition with another woman, not with a man, because we do work and on this cliche, on stereotypes. So we are educated and we grow up like this. I noticed for myself many such cliche I'm applying.
For me, personal feminists taught me it's not okay to compete with other women.
Yes. But I think it's at the beginning of the process, and I'm sure that more and more women will understand this, but it's a process. And in 5 years' time, we will see this movement much stronger, and we will see that women are really supporting each other. In my case, I do work a lot with women. I have many colleagues, women. At some point, somebody came, it was Mr. Cholosh who visited my office, and he entered and said, Anka, that's not gender balance in your office here. I said, okay, sorry. Yeah. So it's at the beginning of the process, and studies and specialized people, psychologists, are explaining why it is so. But my belief is that things are going to change, not rapidly, slowly. But this is what we are doing every day.
It's a problem of mentality. We have to change, and we have to change the perspective of the things.
First of all, it's good that we acknowledge the problem. The first step is to be aware of the issue we have. So then we are working on it, and and let's be clear, it's not about getting rid of our partners.
Absolutely
it's
not.
About working together, and I always tell them, don't be afraid of sharing power with us. We will be better off, all of us.
We are talking about promoting and supporting women, professional women worldwide. Is politics a proper area to grow?
It's a very
as a woman.
It's a very difficult area. It's a very difficult field. I worked in finance.
And in Romania especially, I would like to...
I think everywhere, if we look at female figures, and I worked in finance, which is also a male-dominated area. I worked in energy. It's also very much.
Yes.
But in politics is the worst. And, especially, and this is the politics in Romania, it's, I think... I'm sorry for my male colleagues, but they do believe and they do think that it's about making and discussing politics over a wine or a beer, spritz and politics, and it's not like this. Politics, it's about also knowledge and about construction. It's not that we get drunk and we do politics. This is not politics. Sorry, my dear colleagues. So I think, and there's something else in politics, when we say, well, there are not enough women. Why in the parliament we are only 18% women? And why in the government you have only one woman? And they say, oh, it's about, Anka, it's about meritocracy. Sorry. And I said, really? Are we idiot? No. So, okay. If it's about meritocracy, let's discuss about our CVs to see who is doing what. And How? Let's see when a male passed an exam of getting into politics, and which was that exam. And so, you see, there are many excuses, and the reality is
and excuses.
It's simple. They don't want to share powers, but it's okay. We do work step by step, and we do what we know what we have to do.
What kind of skills and abilities would need a woman that wants to enter in politics?
Resilience. To be able to take heat, to feel bullied. Now I understand what it means to have a strong stomach. I was not aware of the meaning of this saying.
It's not a metaphor.
No, I mean,
it's not only a metaphor. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very tough world, and it's, first of all, you lose completely your private life, and it's your family is exposed, and I think that's one reason for which women are at some point reluctant, and they may even give up, because you may get bad words about your family, and this is something that is really hurting. I was very hurt at the beginning. I really suffered enormously, but then I said, hey, it means that I matter, I count. It means that the stronger I am, the more dangerous I am. Attacks are stronger and more aggressive. So, but that's the way it is.
What means exactly being dangerous in politics?
You simply receive many nasty messages with sexual insults or proposals, or with threats to your family. Yeah, this is the world we are living in. And then, but on the other hand, you also get a sort of a strength and power of saying, I cannot give up because of this. I cannot give satisfaction to those who feel that I am a danger, and they try to intimidate me. So I think it's also about a very strong mental and a very strong, I know who am I and what I can do, and that's it.
Do you have role models, inspirational models in politics coming from women?
I admire all women in politics, and I am aware of how they suffered. I become extremely nasty when I hear about bad words about a female in politics, even if she's not from my party. I hate all the gossips about whatever bad things a woman may do, because we don't know yet. So there are gossips. So I'm totally, I have zero tolerance for gossips about my colleagues from whatever parties. But in general, I think I admire women for the way they organize their lives. And I have enormous appreciation for simple women who have several kids, who wake up early in the morning and do work for their kids, and they work, they have a job, they come home and they work.
They're juggling with all the roles in
nobody's
their life.
Helping them with daily jobs like cooking, washing dishes, and so on. I mean, I do have enormous appreciation for women in general. And you know, there are studies, it's not that I make up stories, that in general, women around the world, they work 3-4 hours a day extra compared to their male partners for the houses. Okay, that's another topic.
Unpaid work.
Unpaid, unrecognized, and even more importantly, not included in the GDP. So, and we are here on the territory of this concept of womenomics, how women contribute to economic activity, to these economic measures, and how they can really increase economic activity. And womenomics is one method that was applied, was I think invented and applied in Japan. Because you need additional labor force, and only activity that is recognized as formal, a certain degree of formality is recognized and including in this measurement of activity GDP.
There is a chance to implement such a concept here in Romania?
Well, that's a discussion worldwide. And the idea is, on one hand, how to help women to spend less time in these daily routines. Mm-hmm. So how to have children in school having a hot meal in school. It means that for a female, it means that they would have to cook and work less at home. How the school will organize the activity and the day of a child, of a pupil. So it means less activity for women, and so on. To change economics rules, that's a little bit different, and this is something that I think that there are papers with the World Bank especially, but also with the European Commission. I think in this point we are at in the situation of exploring possibilities. But in 5-10 years' time, we will see how womenomics will influence statistics and economy.
So there is hope.
Yeah, I mean, I think we would like to see our work recognized. First of all, but also for myself. It happens to me that I go home at 10 in the evening and I do cook something. Yeah. Because I like to do it, and because I know that the next day I'll be home maybe at 7-8 p.m. My son will be at home, so I do cook something. He's now he can he eats alone, but I do like to do this. Of course, I can order something for him, but I prefer I prefer to have to cook for him.
How do you succeed to reconciliate personal life with the professional one?
First of all,
especially you are
I think
working in politics.
You should ask this question. You should ask my family,
Your
not
family,
me.
Yeah.
How they succeed. Well, this is very clear that the most important, the position I had, less time I had to for family, for simple things, for buying presents for Christmas, for buying presents for family anniversaries and so on. So there are small but important moments that for sure we miss. That's why, as I explained, it's so important that I do have success in what I'm doing in my public life, and that as a senator and also as an influencer and as a role model for many women. And this is a huge responsibility. Well, some friends are telling me you have to be perfect to have to have the hairstyle. They said, okay, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
And first of all, and then I'm not a Barbie. Okay, I'd like to lose some weight, but I think this will remain my target. I don't know when I'm going to get there. So it is, how am I right now? I want to inspire people and to inspire other females through what I'm doing. And
you are even a mentor for this young generation.
Yes, and I talk to young people as many times as possible, and I try to support them. I do understand how important it is to feel supported, and I always try to recall how difficult for me it was when I was 20 or 25, and yeah.
Speaking about the difficulties, which was the most difficult time in your professional life and maybe your personal? And how have you surpassed this challenge?
Well, I remember when my son was born, I was working and I was finalizing PhD, and the time was really very, very short, the shortest nights ever. And coming home at 2-3 a.m. from office where I was trying to finalize, and you know how once you have a paper ready, it takes 1-2 months really to fix everything, to link
small details,
all graphs with the text and all this stuff. So coming back at 2-3 a.m. and cooking something and doing some jobs around the house, it was difficult. Otherwise it was but yeah, it means that I was exposed to a very intense professional life. Otherwise the most difficult times in politics were when I received threats for my family. This is unacceptable. This should not be acceptable. And yeah, and you feel unprotected. Yeah, if you go to police station and say it and say there are many people, that are facing this. What can we do for you? Yeah, but I'm exposed. I mean, people know me, so it's This is difficult indeed. When you feel this bad people coming close to you and your family, this is the most difficult moment.
Yeah, I would like to talk a little bit about how do you support and identify female talents in your organization, because it's also a problem of women solidarity again.
Meeting them, talking to them. Well, we had this pandemic, and discussions were mainly via calls, and we spent so much time on calls. My son was always telling me, "Oh, you're in a call again." Yeah, so talking to them, and they came to me also saying that, "Look, we want to work together.
I have an idea.
I have an idea, and this is how we work."
What are the values of the female leadership in your opinion? What you've experienced worldwide?
I don't think it's a gender topic here. Leadership should be the same, irrespective of gender. A leader is the person who inspires, who is working the most. A leader is not the one who who spends time at the restaurant. No. Yeah. A leader is the person who is able to understand people around him or her and give support. I think this is the way when you feel connected with somebody. And this is how I felt when I was younger, with people who inspired me, male or female. I repeat this. I did not understand and I did not believe that it's something wrong in gender terms, and I did not understand the feminism until I grew up and I got higher positions and I saw that I was alone. And this feeling that you're alone, this is not okay. It's no other woman next to you. Okay, hello, where you were. So then is getting this connection with the people. This is the real leadership. This is how I appreciated people whom I considered leaders for myself. And this is how I do with people now working with me and near me.
You want to belong to a community. That's why you
of
said,
course.
Yeah.
You need to be close to people. That's the basic principle. You have to understand people, to stay next to them,
and to feel empathy for their
and not
their
all people
problems.
are able. And you see in politics, some go to different schools and trainers, and they are taught how to cry, how to feel, but you feel after some days, even years, then it's fake. I think faking, it doesn't work.
How can you be authentic in politics? It's a utopia?
No, it's not. But of course you need some skills. Like, not everybody is good at swimming. We have now the champion, but if we are not able to be champions, or I'm not able to, I don't know, I will never be a good tennis player. But I think I am good in talking to people.
Which is not a little thing at all. From your experience, what specifically encourage women in decision making, in public policies?
What's
in women that want to be involved in decision making on public policies?
Well, first of all, they need to know what to do, because you can get involved through an active actor of the civil society or through a political party. But you need to know what you can change and what the society can change. And then you have to listen to people around you to understand their needs. And then you make a project and you move ahead with your project. That's I think that's the easiest way. And the most important thing is actually to listen to people, to understand, because we can read studies and textbooks, and we can read papers on many figures, but you need to understand what's behind that. And I am the type of person who come from the world of research, more than from real life. But this capacity to listen to people turned me from a technocrat into a politician.
Talking about the feminism, how do you experience feminism in your life? Social, professional, personal? You've talked about Mihaela Miroiu, which is a point of reference in in feminism. If someone would invite you to explain how is feminism, how mean, yeah.
Feminism is about normality. Is about the fact that we should be represented equally 50-50, not 51, okay? When we are talking about decisions and decision-making process, as simple as it is. And within this 50%, we should also have young people. That's another problem of our society, that young people are not listened enough, are not participating enough in the process. And I was very proud of my party that for internal elections, we offered some extra scores. We had some primaries. We tried to make the process, to make sure that that we promote people with also with a solid background. So we offered the top up to women in this general mark, and the top up for young people below 30 years of age. So all in all, somebody could have obtained 20% more, plus 40% more of a total professional rankings.
So you promote diversity and inclusion.
We used to promote for elections in 2020, and So I think this is the model all parties should take in order to promote female and young people, because as this is society should be represented as it is. You take the representation of the society, and you need to find people at the level of the representation.
Is it a myth or a reality that women don't want to promote other women, especially in politics?
It is at the beginning of the process. And yes, as we said, probably women find easier to fight with other women.
To compete and fight.
Yeah, because it's a very narrow area. It's a very narrow. There are only few positions.
It's a problem of opportunities, or it's a problem of mentalities.
It's a combination. It's a combination of everything. It comes from education, but yes, it's a fact. But as we are aware of this, I think we can change it. We can fix it. And I think in every day we change a little bit, and you will see results. I'm sure that in 10 years' time, the representation and women in politics will be much more than today. I'm absolutely sure about it. Although it's not simple, and our male colleagues they do everything to block us, yeah. But
it's a problem of resilience, as you've said before.
It's not overnight, but just wait and see
how resilient you can be in this process. Yeah. And a last question: if you were re-elected as a president of the Senate, what would you do differently?
Okay, first of all, I'm very proud of my term as a president of the Senate, and I've got so many people telling me positive feedback, saying that we were not aware that we have a Senate in Romania, but I saw you're very active, and this was really great appreciation and rewarding because we are talking about the representation. Being the president, the speaker of the Senate, doesn't give you too much power, but it's a job of representation. And unfortunately, it was a pandemic period of time, but I tried to open up the institution for Romanians, for the large public, but also outside the country. And in June last year, we had a huge party for children. We wanted to celebrate children. It was for the first time a huge party in the garden of the Senate. And then we, in September, for the beginning of school, we had the second party. I think in the first party in June, we had like 20,000 people visiting the gardens of the Senate. And it was a great day. I had people telling me and saying on tape that it was the most amazing day of my life. So what I tried to do to have this opening of the institution for everybody. Okay, we have to say that Romanians have very low confidence in MPs, in the parliament, and in political parties in general. I think we are on the lowest position. So I started my mandate with this very sad situation in mind. I said, okay, I have to do something for this. I have to show people, to show everybody that we are simple people that are working for them, and that we are considering them. And I succeeded. Unfortunately, I should have done more, but you never knew which would be the restrictions. So that was the biggest problem of my term. Something else, I don't know.
Nobody can control volatility and uncertainty of a pandemic, of a war. It's impossible. But as you've said, you are not simple. You are very trustful, and you are authentic, and this is very, very important.
If I succeed to send this message of authenticity and trust for few people at least, I'm very happy that I did my job well.
A last message for our audience?
Well, I encourage women to join politics, and if not, women should be aware that they can do whatever they want. This is what I was told when I was a child. Nobody told me that I cannot because I'm a girl. Yes, you can do whatever you want. So I grew up with this mentality, and I want to make sure that all girls, all women understand this. And yes, we are beautiful, we are smart, we are resilient, and we are just perfect.
Thank you, Anca Dragu, for all this insightful conversation, and for all this support and optimistic message to our audience. And we need a lot of people like you who are living proof on gender equity and good understanding what political means in fact. Thank you for accepting our invitation, and thank you to our audience for following us on Feminism for Real. Thank you, and
Thank you.
See you soon.
Good luck with your program.
Thank you. We need a lot.
Thanks.